Oh, yeah.
And I was there.
Here's one of my buddies, Ron Klein.
Hey, Chris, you know who's up here is Terry Baccoon. He's
Terry
just
Baccoon?
over there.
Who?
Remember Terry Baccoon?
Yeah.
He's just over there. Yeah, I do too. Baccoon was an old Habanimnik.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. And then Ron Kleinfeld, he was in the Schmutterville with me.
So I'm telling you, you can walk around and catch up with so many people. He was a radio announcer.
Look what it says. It says, Barney or Brad Wildlife on Varnish Pond. And underneath his name is Brad Fitz. That's it right there. I still didn't find Gordon the butcher.
So sorry, Shelley, you said you put a daisy on your mom. Did you put a saddle on your dad?
Yeah. How did you know? No, a cowboy hat.
Oh, cowboy. Actually, I asked Carla, I thought we should wear a cowboy hat.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're right, we should have.
Yeah, and then
You're walking on people.
send shivers up my spine. Just does.
You're right.
You know, for a hi, Ira,
Hi.
for whatever reason, grass wasn't I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. They put fresh dirt down on top of it. Right where we live, the grass wasn't growing.
Look at this.
I swear to God, you go look yourself with me. Weeds all over the place. I'm
You
just.
call it Aunt Karma's. You haven't said it yet.
Like, see, like over there, the fresh dirt?
Yeah.
That's what Ben
Yeah.
feels like. The grass wasn't
You reseeded.
just saying. I will put you in.
Maybe
He's dead.
I don't care.
My ex-husband. The boys
The boys.
knew him.
I figured it was before my time. She walked over there. I just did it because. Yeah, no, I feel like one person.
Oh, but in closet. There might be.
Where is she?
So one, we're going to sit over here. Okay, well, wherever you want. But there's also this spot here. There's no right here. Down in between there.
Or you can sit. Can you?
Hi, everyone.
Focus down there.
So it's just 3 o'clock now. Are we waiting for some more people? Mass?
mask is freaking me out. Really.
That's really what I look like.
I get it. In
I'm
fact,
going to keep wearing
brilliant.
this. Even after we're all finished, I'm going to keep wearing this.
It's yesterday during the bat mitzvah, I was kind of tired of streaming this.
As far as I know, we're
And
not
I was
waiting.
yawning, but nobody could tell.
I think we're waiting for somebody else.
Everyone, if you could come gather around.
I do. It just sends shivers. It does.
Can you tell if I'm in the frame of that shot? Puppet. Come a little closer so we don't have to yell and scream.
We're on the wrong side of the...
If you don't want to be on the internet, we're streaming this for those that are joining, so it's on that camera, but if you're behind the camera, nobody will know. So thank you all for coming. Even in his absence, Billy brings you all together, and that's the most important thing. That's what was most important to him also. And so, well, among other things, that was pretty. He had a colorful life. During this is a complete aside, but during the Isker service at the synagogue this year on Yom Kippur, as we did last year, which was all online, we had slides up with each person's name, and somebody had sent in a picture of Billy with his cowboy hat, and you could hear the sort of the audible in the congregation when they saw him in his cowboy hat, and that image really conveyed the neshama within, the spirit, the soul within. So thank you, whoever sent that in. Thank you. It added to our day. To this sacred place we come, drawn by the eternal ties that bind our soul to yours. Death has separated us. We are no longer you are no longer at our side to share the beauty of the passing moment. We cannot look to you to lighten our burdens, to lend us your strength, your counsel, your faith. And yet what you mean to us neither withers nor fades. For a time we touched hands and heart, and still your voice abides within us. Still your tender glance remains a joy to us. For you are a part of us forever. Something of you has become a deathless song upon our lips, and so beyond the ache that tells us how much we miss you, a deeper thought compels that we were together. We hold you still in our minds and give thanks for life and love, the happiness that was, the memories that do not fade. They are a gift that cannot be lost. You continue to bless our days and years. We will always give thanks to you. In the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember him. In the beginning of the year, which is now, and when it ends, we remember him. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember him. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember him. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember him. So long as we live, he too shall live, for he's now a part of us as we remember him. On the inside on page 2 are the words of the 23rd Psalm. Let's read together. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, life a journey. From childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion and then perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength or strength to weakness and often back again, from health to sickness and back we pray to health again, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion and grief to understand, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat, until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, but life is a journey, a sacred pilgrimage to life everlasting. So before we uncover the marker, we want to celebrate Billy's memory, to bring him back into this world, to remember him for blessing, to draw lessons from his life.
This is the Billy I remember. My family loved and respected him, and in turn, he loved them. He just fell in love with our littlest one, Adela, and always wanted to buy her something when he was out walking to get his exercise at Superstore. We would see her almost every weekend, and when it was time to go home, she would run and get his cap and cane, and she would hold on to the cane with him and walk to the elevator. This is the Billy I remember. There was much more to tell. His business acumen and telling stories of his past to those who would listen, especially the guys at Coffee and was an honorable man, and he left behind a good name. This is how I remember Billy, and I'm so grateful I was by his side for the past 29 years. Corey?
Why don't you come over here if you can, just so you're on the camera. Please stand right.
It's hard to believe over a year has passed since you moved on from this life. Never could I have imagined that more loss would follow so closely behind your passing. I had hopes that my dad would be here today with me. But instead I take comfort in knowing that he has now been reunited with you and Grammy in heaven. I think about you frequently and cherish the happy memories, especially those that were spent with your great grandchildren, who I'm so happy to have here with me today. Your presence in our lives is a blessing and one that we greatly miss. However, having experienced so much loss over this past year and truly trying to understand the meaning behind it all and life in general, I know that you are not gone, but have simply moved on to the next phase of what we call life. Your spirit lives on within all of us, and I know that we will be reunited again one day. I know that you are at peace and that you accomplished what you needed to in your time here on earth, and we will continue to celebrate your life each and every day. Miss you, Zadie.
Thank you.
Years ago, my mom was dying. I was pregnant with Isla, and Dad and I were looking for a plot to bury my mom and eventually Dad. When Dad saw this plot, he was so happy to see this sea train going back and forth and back and forth. We returned many times to visit Mom, and I'll never forget on one visit, Dad saying, "I don't know what I'm still doing here, but I know where I'm going to end up. It makes me happy to know I will be here beside your mother, and it really doesn't bother me to die." My brother passed this year. God bless Dad to go first. No parent should see the end of their child's life. Perry was the firstborn, and Dad was proud of Perry and loved him very much. As I stand beside the grave of both my parents, I have so much gratitude. My mom loved laughter and was always looking for a joke to brighten someone's day. She was my best friend, mother, and guide, and everyone that knew my mom loved her. Dad was a man of principle and was accustomed to making a deal on a handshake. His dad died very young. From then on, he took care of his mothers and his sisters. Right up to his passing, he was concerned about everyone around him. I've come to learn that their spirit still lingers everywhere, in our hearts, in our souls, and in our actions. These amazing people gave me life. They gave me unconditional love. They practiced compassion, humility, acceptance of others, and to always give people a second chance. How blessed I am to have had these wonderful parents to guide me. How honored I am to have had the opportunity to guide them and care for them in their passing. They leave behind strength and courage. Dad's blessing was always wishing everybody good health. On my dad's behalf, I wish you all gathered here today and out there in the computer world good health, and may we all live in peace.
Amen. Did anybody else want to share a memory or a story? Jacob set up a pillar on Rachel's grave, and so we who are still in mourning come here to express our undying attachment to Billy, returning to this place to dedicate this memorial. We remember the moments shared, the times of celebration and the times of difficulty. We remember now the times of warmth and closeness, the times of love and companionship. We pray that we will continue to treasure all that was good in Billy's life, and that we will retain that good as part of the very fabric of our lives. As we dedicate this memorial, may we recognize that it is but a symbol of our enduring affection for Billy. Help us, O God, to do him honor by our actions and our aspirations. May his memory lead us to lives of which he would be so proud. So it reads, Wolf Ber ben Abraham. The 8th of Elul, 5780. In memory of a beloved husband, father, and Zadie, William B. Davids, March 9, 1925 to August 28, 2020. Your beautiful soul rests in our hearts. And you'll note the cowboy hat. Nice touch. So there's two prayers that we say now as we conclude this ceremony. One is El Malay Rachamim, which I'll chant in a moment, and then the Kaddish prayer. El Malay is for Billy's soul. The Kaddish is for all of you, that you might feel comfort from each other and comfort in his memory, and that memory might visit you when you need it most. El Malay Rachamim, Shochen Bamromihim, Hamitzeh Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfecha Shechina, Im Kedoshim Utchorim, Kizochar Kimasirihim, Et Nishmat, Wolf Ber ben Abraham, Shechalal Olamo, Began Eden Techei Menuchato, Baal Harachamim, Yastirechu, Beseta Kanafav Olamim, Vaitzur, Bitzur Chachaim et Nishmato, Adonai hu nachalato, Yanuach, B'shalom al mishkavo, V'nomar Amen. Compassionate God, eternal spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Billy who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let him find refuge in your eternal presence in the shadow of your wings. Let his soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is his inheritance. May he rest in peace. Amen. And we say together, Amen. The Kaddish is on the back page. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yomad, Yibrach, Yeruteh, Yomlich, Malchuteh, B'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Ufayed, Chol, Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ubizman Kariv, Vimaru, Amen. Yehei, Shmei Rabbah, Mevorach, Leolam, Ulomei, Omaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitbalar, V'yitruman, V'yitbatzeh, V'yitadar, V'yitbaleh, V'yitbalal, Shemei Kudisha, B'richu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damin ron be'oma v'maru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemayim, v'chayim aleinu v'yoko Yisrael v'maru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'yoko Yisrael, v'ko yoshvei tevel v'maru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imeru amen. May his memory always be for a blessing. If I can say to this whole family that is in mourning the traditional words of comfort that our tradition offers each of you. Hamakom yenachem echem b'toch sha'ar avalei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God console you among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. May Billy's memory always be for a blessing. We can say together.
Amen.
There's one more ritual. Clearly you already know about it because you have these beautiful stones here with love and dad and shalom, I think that's it, on it. The custom is to place a pebble or a stone whenever you visit a Jewish grave to build up a monument, a marker to your loved one. I share this story at almost every unveiling I do, and when people stop reacting with a smile, I'll stop sharing it. But when I was a rabbi in Los Angeles, the cemeteries, not that dissimilar from this actually, were very manicured. And if you didn't bring stones with you or get them at the gate, you didn't find any inside. And I was once doing an unveiling, the family had forgotten to bring stones as I was explaining this. And as I was explaining it, they had a granddaughter with them, maybe about your age. And as I was explaining this, and they discovered they didn't have stones, she came back with her hands filled with pebbles, which she had collected from all the other graves around. So should you come and you not find your stone here, somebody placed it on their bubby. There's 80s graves.
That's cute.
You can see it as soon as you stop. Thank you all so much for being here. For those that joined us online, I'm going to end the stream now. And thank you all. Thank you.